All right. Hey everyone. I think I've got this thing working now, as best I can tell. So we'll keep at it. This is my first Twitch stream. Yeah, entirely new territory for me, but it should be interesting. The one thing I have noticed is that there's a lot of interesting people. It's a very diverse platform, and it seems like it's focused on gaming, but it also seems like it has the capacity to be a lot of things. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some interviews on here, even maybe some audio interviews, assuming this format works to that end. I'm still kind of a discovery in progress, but perhaps to the point of bringing in some different perspectives and points of view. I think it could be nice. Some of the folks that I met when we were at the Johnny Depp trial, what was most surprising to me was the diversity of background. There were a lot of folks that were there, began in, for example, just wanting to sort of follow up and see what's going on. There were a lot of people there that were actually coming from an experience with having witnessed domestic violence and were torn between those components of domestic violence and then someone who was kind of an iconic childhood hero. So there was a lot of conflicted folks. But what you did find is that as the arc of the trial played on, you saw a very different perspective from the news media, which was surprising because I remember when the first article, well, the first sort of high profile news show that came on, which was Megan, what's Megan? I can't even remember her last name now. Megan. Anyway, um, her show, uh, the content was completely absent of anything that any of us had seen at trial. And that was the big surprise. And sort of that repeated itself again and again to a large degree. And even more so now today, I think that everyone's still trying to readjust their perspectives on it. But one thing I did like about the whole event was I got to meet a lot of the news corps, press corps. Got to have nice little quiet conversations with a lot of folks there. Actually spoke to some of the, oh, see my hat's crooked. I'm not OCD, I promise. I'm not. I'm not OCD. Not at all. Yeah, maybe I am a little bit. Anyway, I have to get a better camera. I'm not real fond of this camera. Anyway, that'll come down the road. Right now, it's just about checking out form. But I got to meet a lot of folks there at the trial. Uh, Young women, young men, old men, families, individuals. A lot of people traveled from all over the world. A lot of interesting perspectives. But the thing that I found most compelling about the entire trial was that there was a commonality and a comfort where folks were just there to support. At the end of the day, it seemed like they were just there to support Johnny Depp. And I think a lot of folks had an idealized sort of point of view of who he was, and a lot of things came out that were embarrassing for everyone. But what was interesting is that whether you were on the left or the right, straight, gay, Asian, German, it didn't really matter. The thing that you seemed to unify everybody was um, he kind of got a bum deal, and there was a rush to judgment. And I think that if anything, from what I've experienced in my 61 years of being in the arts and the sciences, and being both kind of a mechanical person and a highly empathetic, my my empathy is off the scale. And what I found was that there was a commonality between a lot of folks, and that seemed to be caring for one another and caring for people and caring that people are taken care of. Regardless of whether it was one side of the trial or the other, it seemed like a lot of folks' hearts were out there hoping that at the end of the day everybody came out on top. And I think the one takeaway message from all of this is that maybe within tragedy, there's an opportunity for healing and to find a way to be a greater and more whole and complete self. And that's what I hope happens. I hope that's what everybody gets out of it. That's kind of the mission of the Motley Patriot. When you think of Motley, some people think Motley Crue. Well, Motley tends, if you go to the original definition, it's kind of a mixed bag, yeah, and I think that's what makes the world amazing is that there is differences, and those differences can be celebrated, even with an old 61-year-old guy like me. But coming from theater, but also being kind of, a very outside the box thinker, and always kind of being a free range chicken. The one thing I have found is that there's more that unites us than divides us if you're just willing to take the time and listen. And being careful not to judge other people on a narrative, because at the end of the day, narratives are not your friend. You need to talk to the person you're in the room with. You need to give people the benefit of the doubt. You need to come at all conversations with love. I don't care where you are. If you walk at anybody with hatred, it doesn't matter where you stand. You have failed as a human being. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, if I can just get this thing to stop. Motley Patriot. Peace out.